Welcome and good day, brothers and sisters. Thank you for stopping by, and we're happy to have you. This channel is dedicated to building common unity, dedicated to reaching out to all those who follow the Spirit and have been led or called to something great. Among a few spiritual messages and truths, there are shorts and videos on this channel that show and or discuss scientific evidence for the Spirit and spiritual energy. Now, yeah, I know when we have someone dressed like me talking about God and Spirit-inspired wild ideas, folks don't tend to take people like me serious. And yet, the truth is the truth. And the truth can be found, and through Spirit and with the desire, it can be properly understood with discernment from our center, where the Spirit sits, and applied over a balance of logic and emotions. The force that we call God is an undeniable, provable force that has been personified through culture. And I don't speak from faith. Now, I speak from knowing. My entire life, to my earliest memories as a small child, the Spirit and or God has always been something of fact and truth to me. It saved my life. I have developed a bond with the Spirit that is through experience that I will never forget. And it's not something that I have ever doubted either. While I'm not a perfect human being, I have been undoubtedly called by name. I am the son of David, Darel in French, being dearly and beloved, or Darel in Hebrew, being the pearl of God, the Nekre, having the strength and might of the earth and mountains, giving the gift of the word through knowledge, perception, skill, discernment, understanding, and or wisdom. God of the shepherd, because I am here to gather God's people back into the light, into the shadow of God. Or Dareel in its more simplistic root form in Sanskrit, being honorable and noble, a lion of God, a gateway or a doorway to a gift of an offering from God. I am called to declare the truth of God and bring about a physical and spiritual community where we may thrive in the shadow of the Most High, that we may thrive during the coming cosmic reset or washing of ourselves and of this planet. And so, without hesitation, of course, I have answered the call to manifest this community and deliver the truth of things. And so, it started with me writing 4 spiritual documents, trust documents, that remind and outline a path to where we can develop and create with one another in the holy light and in the shadow of the Most High. And this channel is dedicated to reaching out to all those who know at their core that this world will not carry on as it is now, that soon very big changes are coming, much bigger than our current global systems. This channel is dedicated to reaching out to those who understand the necessity of living a life that's naturally harmonious with our natural environment, especially now while our planet is going through so many changes, and big ones since the Carrington event, including a pole shift and a magnetic excursion. We are trying to reach those who understand that there is an undeniable, great, phenomenal force in each of us. Those who desire to live in a manner that aligns with the cosmic spirit energy, so not to lose ourselves to the physical world and into suffering. The Bezalel Family Trust is looking for members who love the Spirit and want to do better with themselves and generally in life, to thrive as a whole human, to live in alignment with that Spirit. Names are just epithets that they harness bare frequency. And epithets are powerful words of the Spirit manifesting. I chose Bezalel for a name for the trust because of its frequency, which I found through ritualistic spiritual process, and I was brought to this name without ever hearing it before. And so I had limited knowledge of what it actually stood for entirely, and which obviously having no knowledge of the character in the story of Moses, which somehow I missed all these years. So, then of course, after finalizing the trust and the name and all that, I was prompted to look into the meaning a lot deeper and the story a little more, and it was just wow, it was spot on. Now, if you don't know, Bezalel is one of 2 men who were chosen by God to aid the construction of the tabernacle, where God dwelled in the midst of his people. When God chose Bezalel, God knew he was going to require more people who were able to teach others what was needed, and Bezalel was appointed to lead them. The story of Bezalel showed us that God sets us apart for his service and infuses his Spirit within us to accomplish that service. After being called and committing myself for some time to develop everything and naming the trust based on spiritual promptings, and then to find out how deep that really goes, it was just so affirming, just an amazing feeling that I can't even describe. And while these terms do hint at Judaism or Judaic beliefs because of the Aramaic language, the trust is a community not bound by any ism of any kind. The Bezalel Family Trust does not identify with religious denominations. Instead, we see the truth expressed between all cultures, the truth of love, the truth about God. The trust represents no authority other than the Most High of all. We don't care how your culture tells you to love that spirit. We just care that you have a relationship and a love that Holy Spirit, however your culture understands that. Because we simply wish to cultivate ourselves and our fellow natural humans into that light. The Bezalel Family Trust is looking to cultivate humans to serve God through service to each other. So those who have been prompted and those who this resonates with, I would ask you to rise up in the calling and serve the one true God through service to your fellow man. Rise up in the name of God to cultivate harmony with the natural cosmic laws and usher in a new age with your fellow brethren who have answered the call to sacrifice their egos and serve under God. If that's not for you, well, otherwise, I hope that you can find some information on this channel that will help you along your journey. And if nothing else, turn the wheels and cogs of critical thinking. Feel free to join in and ask any questions under any comment section or give me an email. And I'll do my best to reach out to everyone. It might be hard. Until then, stay conscious, stay blessed, and God bless.